Ugh, lousy thing. Oh, hello. I almost didn't hear you there. Very different tutorial I'm doing. And this is about Amiibo bases. Now, you know me, I take apart the Amiibo and the base, depending on how I want to modify it. Now the thing with boiling, if you're not too careful with boiling the Amiibo base open or prying it open, the annoying part is that when the base doesn't fit securely, because we've all seen Amiibo, the base is sunken in. The base is sunken in so that it fits. The problem is trying to put the Amiibo base back in, but as you can see, it's kind of warped and all that stuff. You could try to fix it, but the problem is that when you're trying to put it back in, you run the risk of damaging this NFC chip here. So today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to sculpt a new base. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I sculpt a new base? Well, first, you're going to need the Amiibo base as a model. You're going to need some sculpting putty. Now, this is epoxy sculpt. It's a two-part epoxy. Now, as you can see, I got this as a birthday present, and it's the best thing ever. Actually, I found out you can actually get this stuff in different colors. White, black, bronze, yellow, red, blue. And I was like, ooh, I gotta try those colors sometime. But until then, I like the white. I was actually trying to go for the natural color, but I noticed a lot of the customizers that follow me and I follow them, they use white epoxy sculpt. So what you want to do is you want to get equal parts of part A and part B. Now the best guide for the match the thickness of the Amiibo base is to get roughly like a paintball size of each one, because you want this thing to be thick. Then once you roll it out, you can use the bottom of the Amiibo base. Now if you look at the bottom of the base, you notice there's an inner lip right here. The reason why is that's where this thing fits. So that's like your perfect guideline to how big you want it. And the inside of this thing can help you with how much you want it to fit, because the top part here, you want it so that it's almost level. But here's the annoying part. See this little thing here? It locks the Amiibo base into place when they glue it. So roughly, I'm going to show you what now as you can see, this is roughly how you want the new base to fit. And what you want to do is, what I did is that I waited a bit for it to firm up when I sculpted it. If you want an easier thing to roll out, what you do is that you can use the bucket here. Now if you want to measure the thickness so you don't want it to be like too thick, you can use the inner lip of the bucket here to help you roll out and flatten it. What you want to do is, so that it matches the inside of the base here, is that you wait for it to firm up a bit, and what you do is that you carefully use the camera. What you want to do is you line it up like that. Now see? Perfect. That's exactly how you want it to be. Now if you want this thing to be totally sunken in, you notice that etching, the little square hole I did on one side, that's where the peg goes, where it connects. Now as you can see, see? Okay, I can show you better. See, look, this little square here is supposed to match with this thing. That way it locks into place. Now, you could sand this thing pretty much down so that's pretty much level with the base. I like to put a little elevation on my customs, a little elevation, so like it looks like they're kind of like standing on a podium. But this is how you roughly want it. You want to, when you first put in the base, make sure you remove the NFC chip so it doesn't get stuck. That's why you want this to firm up a bit. And what you do is that you roll it around and you move it around in there, so make sure it gets the indent. And what you do is you could use a flathead screwdriver. Actually, if you have an X-Acto knife, you can use that to help you lift this thing out, and then you just lay it on a flat surface to dry. But if you're worried about the X-Acto knife, worried about hurting yourself with an X-Acto knife, you can use a flathead screwdriver to lift this thing out. So depending on how high you want the figurine to sit up, you can leave it like how I have it. Come on, camera. Or you can just sand it down till it's like super level, like you see like most other Amiibo, the base is sunken in. I like mine with a little elevation, that way it helps when I lock it into place. Now, because I'm using this for a custom Bowser I'm working on, I had to remove the pegs off his feet. So what I'm going to do later is I'm going to drill 2 holes in the base, so that way he'll be secured in. But you can get your sandpaper from your local hardware store, and all you got to do is carefully you sand this top part where the Amiibo will be sanding. What you can do is that once this hardens as a rock here, you pop it into place and you just sand it until it's like how much the thickness you want it to be. But it's just a little tutorial about how you can fix, you can make a new Amiibo base. Now you could use wood, but this is a more cost efficient way to sculpt new bases. You could use wood bases, but the problem is that it would cost a lot to find the right measurement. And I've looked online for wood bases that would fit on the inside of this thing, and it was just like ridiculous. But there we go. It's my short little tutorial on how to sculpt a new Amiibo base. Now, don't worry about the thing weighing heavy. Don't worry about the thing weighing it down, because when you sand this down, it's going to take away a lot of the weight. And depending on how much clay you've used to customize your Amiibo, it's going to be heavy anyway. So don't worry too much about it. But other than that, thank you for watching.